All right, welcome to the Bean Apple. It is week 9, and we are going to talk some Redskins Giants. Hopefully, win number 2 for your New York Giants there, Jim. And we're going to talk Jets Patriots Monday night. I can't call it a miracle.
It's extravaganza.
It's a miracle. It's on Monday night. That's
Monday night mistake.
The
mistake,
Monday night
maybe
mistake. I like that. So yeah, we get here with Jim and John. Got my 2 partners in crime back for this one because it's kind of boring doing a show by myself. So thank you for gracing us with being back again. So before we get started, please start to get a couple more subscriptions there to the channel. Please jump on there, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Help us continue to grow. We're slowly but surely gaining some momentum. So thank you for that. And let's keep it going because I think we got something good going here, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, let's talk some Giants and Washington football team and see what the potential of a win number 2 is for the Giants.
Yeah, so Giants and Washington, another exciting game at 1:00, 1-7 versus 2-5, right? Yeah, great stuff. But I mean, I think the Giants' only win came against Washington. And when you look at the 2 teams, I mean, the Giants have been playing a lot of close games, right? I mean, you look at Washington has lost, they beat the Eagles on opening day, 27-17, but they've lost to the Cardinals and the Browns and the Ravens, and not close games. I mean, they're down 20, down 14, down 14. Then they finally beat the Cowboys 25-3, which was a laugher because the Cowboys can't really do anything anymore. I don't know what's going to happen with that team, but so we go down to Washington, down the Turnpike, and play in what is it, RFK, or I forget what the name of that stadium is there. But
let's call it RFK because that's what it was before. Let's bring back some nostalgia.
I like sticking with the old names. I know Joe likes to be the modern stuff. I'm old school, right?
I like old school as well.
Giant Stadium going down to RFK.
I'm sure that offends somebody though.
Hey, whatever. But I think the Giants have a shot. I mean, anyone that saw the game against Tampa Bay, right? I mean, the Giants have been playing tight games, and I feel like every week the Giants are getting better, and they're gelling, and the defense has been playing better. I mean, Brady, everyone made jokes, John last week, and John's buddy calling in, telling me that Brady was going to carve him up, and they had no chance. Not true. I mean, the Giants moved the sticks, moved the ball, kept the clock going, had a lot of long drives, 12 plays, 10 plays, got the big turnover in the red zone to score on Tampa Bay there.
Yep.
And, I hated the end of the game. I mean, the end of the game, they're down, and I know I'm supposed to be talking about Washington, but timeout, I got to go backwards a little bit. The end of the game there, Logan Ryan comes in and hits the receiver. They call a flag, and thank God they picked it up because he did. He went shoulder first. He didn't lead with his head, so that was a great pickup of the flag. Yep. And then a couple plays later on that drive, another helmet they call personal foul, where the guy was really kind of bracing himself. But yes, the receiver led with his helmet, hits the Giant. They do hit helmet to helmet, but to me that wasn't a penalty. I don't know if you guys saw that play. I didn't think that was a penalty. You guys disagree, agree, saw it?
I mean, I seen it. Was it helmet to helmet? Yes. I mean, you can't deny it.
Yes, but was it leading with the helmet? He was really kind of bracing and backing off.
Yeah, and didn't they replay that through New York, though, too? Didn't that go through?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Because for whatever reason, I thought that went through New York. But
if they did, the next play, the way there was a flag, should have went through New York too. The last play of the game.
The last play, that was.
I mean,
what the hell? How that wasn't pass interference? I can't understand. He literally ran into him before the ball got there.
He had his hand. He was holding his hand, and he hit literally his chest.
He just ran right into him before the ball got there. Like you can't tackle somebody, and I think that's the entirety of what pass interference is he was knocking him to the ground before the ball got there. You're like, that's what it is. And I was joking with my wife, and I was like, I guarantee they're all standing around right now going, it's a penalty. It's definitely a penalty, but it's Tom. What do we do? Like, we can't call it. We can't call this on Tom. We only call this for Tom.
That's right.
I don't know who messes one up, because it was disgusting. That was
right. Do we want to go home now? We could just say we're going to pick it up and we can go home and eat. But you threw the flag. So how do you pick the flag up and there's not, clear evidence that it wasn't a penalty, and yet they just wave it off? I couldn't believe it. If whether you go to replay, I know they can't look at the Jumbotron and see, it is. But come on. I mean, it's the deciding the game. And I get it. It's not a playoff game. They're not both undefeated. Does it really matter? No. But it's just the idea of they fought their way down the field, another long drive to tie the Buccaneers, where the Giants were, 12-point underdogs? I mean, they had no chance, everybody figured. And here they are to tie the game. And there's no guarantee they were going to win in overtime either. But they still, you have to call the penalty when you already threw the flag.
Right. So I'll say this. I listened to 3 of our competitors, as I'll call them, and they were referring to the last play of the game. And, of course, we're talking 6 people talking about this, so 2 on each show. And they all agreed after they were able to watch it in slow motion. Not now, the refs weren't able to look at that like that. They weren't. Okay. But after these 6 people looked at it, they agreed it shouldn't have been a penalty. But they all admitted, and I will say this, they all admitted at the time that they would have called a penalty. But after looking at it, they said the refs made the right call. So how did they see that without being able to review it?
Right. So even if they went to New York and New York said, hey, you know what? He didn't get there early. Okay, then there's nothing I could say.
Right.
But they threw the flag on the field and then huddle up and say, no penalty. Come on. No way. No way.
The NFL doesn't want Tampa Bay to lose.
No.
I guess.
I mean, what good would it have done for the Giants to win and Tampa to lose there? It wouldn't have done any good, because now Tampa's playing New Orleans this week. So you get a 5-2 and a 6-2 team. You don't want to see.
But that's not how you can't base your decision on. Let's see. What are their records?
Look, I'm just starting a conspiracy theory. That's all.
I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? No, you can't be. They threw the flag. You have to acknowledge that. You can't just say, oh, I meant to throw the what? No, you threw the flag immediately.
Right. Immediately. So you saw something.
Of course. They saw him hitting him. His back is turned. He's not even turning towards the quarterback. It's a penalty. Here's what's surprising. And I had to look this up because I wasn't sure. If you have a penalty in the end zone on the defense during a 2-point conversion, the what happens is you do it again. Yeah. So I'm surprised that there aren't more penalties during these 2-point conversions when the guys are beat or whatever. Just have a penalty, right? Make them do it again.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what can you do? Just knock the guy over, have a penalty on it, and strip it out, do whatever you got to do. I'm surprised that more teams don't take advantage of that rule. It's not like the play was over. We'll enforce it on a kickoff. No, it's you got to try again. Make them keep trying it again.
Right.
Yeah, you should. And that's like that's the other thing that really irritates me is you'll have a play like where you can't really move back any further. You'll have like a 10-yard holding play and you're on the 2-yard line. So it's a 1-yard penalty. Why does the penalty move backwards and the first down marker not move forward? Like, I can't understand that. If you're on the 2-yard line and you have a false start, then you move back 1 yard. Why doesn't the first down marker move forward to compensate for what you actually should have lost?
We should. You know what you should do? We should broadcast that.
Well, it is live.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, no.
We should talk about this live.
Yeah,
I've never understood that.
Wow, I never thought about that. Why don't you call Roger Goodell? Let's see if we can get him on the phone.
Okay, yeah. Let me hit him up right now. We'll see if we can get him on and talk about this. But yeah, it just blows my mind with all of the stuff and all the rules that they go over. You get a 15-yard pass, a 15-yard play, you move back 2 yards, and then that's it. That's just the end of it. Like, it doesn't really affect you. I can't. And then you get a first down on the next one because it's a 2nd and 12 instead of a 2nd and 27, like it should have been, or something like that. It doesn't make sense at all.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah. Never understood it.
I'm in favor of changing that rule. Yeah. I vote. Yep.
Good. Second
favor. I second it.
All right. Now it's on the discussion board. So
yes, put it out there. Anybody out there listening to the show, what do you think? I'm in favor of move the first down yardage out further. Yes. Yeah. Now, when you can only move back half a yard.
Right. Yeah. If your team isn't in a position to where it can move back the required penalty yards, then the first down marker moves forward the equivalent of to make sure that a 15-yard penalty is actually a 15-yard penalty and not a 3-yard penalty. And
that would be for anything. If you're on a 1 yard line and you have a false start,
that's mind blowing.
Yeah. Now you 5 yards out.
Move it out.
Yep.
Wow. I like it. I'm gonna I'm not going to do anything.
What am I going to do? By Joe Tedisco.
Yes. My fireside chat. So.
There you go. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Making you think. Now you're going to be watching games, and every time it happens, you're going to be like, why? Why? You'll be just like me. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Right. So
let's start tweeting it and then make it go viral, and then it'll become something.
Yeah. And they could call it the bean apple rule.
Hey, I like it.
I like it.
Yeah. That's our first rule we're going to institute in the NFL.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, like on a side note, I didn't know that the Miranda rights are actually named after the guy who didn't get his Miranda rights read to him and got almost let off of a rape charge. Did you know that?
No.
I don't know. That was his last name. I don't remember his first name, but he was arrested and thrown in jail for rape, but they argued that he didn't have his rights read to him and was and gave up all the information and basically incriminated himself without having a fair trial. And obviously they took him back to court or retrial, and he still ended up going to jail for rape, which thank God for that. But
thank God, yes.
Yeah. So if you guys, fun fact of the day, Miranda rights are actually named after a criminal that didn't get his rights read to him. So
was his first name Carmen? Carmen Miranda? No. Wasn't that the lady with the fruit thing on her head when we were little in the cartoons? Anyway.
I don't know. The Jaquita Banana Girl?
Maybe. I remember Bugs Bunny with the lady with the fruit head.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Where are we? Where are we going with this?
Where are we?
Oh, God.
We're on the Giants beating Washington on Sunday. That's where we are.
That's right. All right.
So the Giants' only win of the season is against Washington because Riverboat Ron wanted to go for 2 at the end of the game, and the Giants held them up. And I'm telling you, the Giants' defense consistently has been playing better as a team. I mean, Brady with all of his weapons. Gronk was not existent in the first half. I forgot he was even on the team. I don't think he had one target, one catch, anything. And then in the second half, he had a couple of catches. He had a couple of, he sneaks out behind the line and gets open in the middle. Yep. But Evans had one catch, I remember, in the second half there in the end zone. But I'm telling you, I think the Giants have been getting better, even though their record doesn't show it. All of their games, except for one, have been within a touchdown, and a lot of them are 1, 2 point, 3 point games. I mean, they're in the game to the end, and Jones has been making some costly mistakes, and he did it again where he's in the grasp, and instead of just taking a knee, Eli would just fall down, right? Just like Peyton did. Just go fall down and live for another play. No, he throws it out and throws it off to Golden Tate short, and it's an interception. Mm-hmm. And we cannot keep doing that. We were driving. We were in Green Bay. We were in Tampa Bay territory. I'm watching a game over my thing here. We were in Tampa Bay territory, and he throws that ball away. But, man, the end of the game, that pass to Tate in the end zone, Tate goes up and catches it, comes down with 2 feet. I mean, excellent catch, excellent pass. But I know I keep going back to that game because it's stuck in my head here. But so
it's over, Jim. It's over.
What's that? It's over.
The game is over.
It is done.
I protested it. I'm waiting for the
this. So Jim, to your point here, this matchup. So Washington is favored by 2.5, but when you break down the team statistics, points per game for the Giants, 18. 18.1 to Washington's 19.
That's right.
Points allowed per game, 24.9 for the Giants, 23.6 for Washington.
Right.
Total yards, 309 to 317. I mean, these guys are neck and neck. Passing yards, 210 to 217. Rushing, 98 to 100. I mean, neck and neck. The differentiator is yards allowed. Giants have given up 373 as opposed to 331. So you're looking at 50 yards there, or 40 yards there. So that's that is the only outlier between the two. Right. Everything else is very, very close. So and it's the passing yard. So it's the defense. The Giants are giving up 271 passing yards a game as opposed to 207 for Washington. So that's what's going to win or lose this game and the Giants defense has looked substantially better, but Washington's defense, they're quietly no joke. So it's,
I mean, we beat them once. Beat them once. And I mean, if we play like we did against Tampa Bay, which is what I'm going to hope. I mean, we knocked Brady down. We got a couple of sacks against Brady. I didn't think we were going to be pushing their defensive line back and getting an offensive push, whether it was throwing or running, and we were able to do it. Long drives, eat the clock, move the sticks, score some points. I mean, it was really exciting to watch, and it was unexpected for everybody except me. But I'm taking Washington this week. I mean, I think. I mean, I looked at the rest of their schedule, and it's really a shame that
you're taking Washington this week. You're picking Washington.
Oh no! What are you crazy? No,
you just said I'm taking Washington.
No, I rewinded. I didn't say that.
Oh, you I heard 1,000% did.
Yeah, you said I'm taking Washington.
Well, obviously, Jim, pick with your brain, not with your heart. That was your brain talking.
Yeah, automatic. Just screaming. Listen to me.
Giants. I'm taking the Giants. I've always taken the Giants.
You're right.
We beat them once. Why not beat them again? And to me, there's no reason to try and lose here. I mean, looking up at the rest of the schedule, you could end up with 6 wins still. It could still end up with 6 wins. They got to play Dallas again. They got to play Philly again. They got to play Cleveland. I mean, come on. Yeah. They could still, yes, they're playing Seattle, I think, and Arizona, and a couple of the tough ones.
Jim, calm down for a minute. Calm down. Did you say 6 wins, baby?
Hey, I gotta hold on to something. You're gonna start doing the same thing.
The Patriots. The Patriots are gonna make the playoffs still.
You're gonna start doing what we do soon because you're just used to being in. You're always in. Not anymore. Yeah. Now you're gonna be grasping for any little thing. What can I hold on to here?
Now you're just Giants. Hope is a beautiful and absolutely gut wrenching thing to have. It's just, I said the Jets were going to go 9-7 this year. Hope is just stupid. Hope is just stupid. I don't like Hope. I don't know who brought her to the party, but she's got to leave because she's just.
I think I had the Jets at 6-10, and that was a long shot. But
I think I'm going to pick Washington in this one. Because whenever I pick the Giants, they let me down. So, but here's what I do want to point out is, did you see the story about Logan Ryan and his wife? Yeah. Like that is one of those things that, and I'm glad she's okay. And, odds are, I don't know, but odds are with that procedure that they lost the baby, right? Because it was growing inside of her fallopian tubes and it was about to burst, which could have killed her. But luckily, the team physician, if you didn't read the story, he was talking to the team physician about it, and he told her to go to the emergency room immediately, which they found that it was about to burst. They did emergency surgery and saved her life, which is outstanding. And and Joe Judge came out and said, hey man, if you need to because she's down in Florida, if you need to go be with her, take whatever time you need, go take care of your family. Those are the type of things. And John, from a leadership perspective, that brings a team together, right? Like when you have a team around you that cares that much and is that involved, in everything that you're doing, and deeply cares about who you are and what's going on in your life, like that builds that chemistry that the entire team feeds off of. So that could be the thing that turned. I mean, the defense played great last week, like you said. They played way above what they should have done. I think it was the old school jerseys that brought that back. But
I love those helmets on them too.
But I think like that old school helmets. Logan Ryan's already he's a good player, right? He's probably one of the leaders on that team anyway, on the defensive side, experience wise and everything. So I think that could be something that really turns that defense around and really molds and brings that team together. I'd be really interested to see if the defense really comes together and grows off of that. I'm going to take Washington because I think Antonio Gibson's going to run wild, and I don't know if anybody can really stop Terry McLaurin. I don't think Bradbury can, so I think it's going to be a little too much. So
he stopped Evans for the most part.
Yeah, but Evans has been like a shell of himself this year. So
okay,
he hasn't been the Evans of before when he had 2 catches for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's not doing the explosive stuff. But we'll see. I think Washington takes it. The 2.5. 2.5. They'll probably win it by a field goal, but that's my prediction.
So Jim, you kind of hit the hammer on the head of the nail there. The Giants have been in a lot of close games. In fact, I think all of them except the Steelers game they lost by 10, which hindsight right now it's the only undefeated team. You know what I mean? Or 8, whatever they lost by.
26-16. Yep.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, they're not winning those close games.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're playing well enough to stay in the game. I mean, that game against Tampa, I think, surprised everybody. Who knows? Maybe Tampa pulled the old, hey, we got the Giants. It's a Thursday night or I'm sorry, a Monday night game. We could just kind of chill out, but they couldn't. And I'll tell you what, the Giants ran the ball well. I mean, their offensive line owned that game. They really did. And it's funny, I had Tampa Bay's defense going into in my fantasy league, and I'm like, hey, all I got to do is do this, this, and this. And I mean, Tampa couldn't stop New York. So, but I'll tell you what, Jones is still missing that deep ball. I mean, there was a couple times he had some wide open shots and just threw it, way too far out of bounds. I think he still needs to get that. And quite honestly, I think Allen's starting to fall into the role he was with Carolina last year. He has 4 touchdowns, 1 interceptions in 3 games, and 1 interception in 3 games. So, I mean, he's not putting up killer stats, but I think he's getting better as the year goes by too. Are we going to see the same Giants team that we've seen on Thursday? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm who knows? I think it's going to be a very close game, but I'm going to go with Washington. And Joe, you talked about the whole lot team getting behind Logan Ryan, and Ron Rivera, I believe, had his last chemo treatment, I want to say. So there's another factor that you got to throw in there too. So the team may be playing a little bit harder. They've won 2 games in the division now. They beat Philly and they beat Dallas. If they can beat the Giants, that's gonna, in that division right now, I think Philly is by far the best team, and that's not saying much. You know what I mean, as far as what's going on. I think the Giants, if you put Saquon on the team, and this would be a lot different. I truly do. But again, is their running game going to be as good as it was last week? I don't know. If it is, I mean, who knows? They may be able to pull it out by kind of controlling the ball like they did against Tampa. I mean, they kept Tampa off the field for a while. They really did. A great game plan, perfect game plan for them. But I'm going to go Washington probably to cover. I mean, again, it's 2. And I don't know. It's going to be close. I think it'll be a decent game. and hopefully we'll see two of the future star quarterbacks of the NFC East, kind of like we were hoping for at the beginning of the season when we were talking about how much better the NFC East was going to be this year. I don't know.
No, Washington will have a new coach or a new quarterback this year in the draft to guarantee it. There's no way they're going with what they've got. It's just
I don't know. I think Rivera loves Allen. I do. I think he's a big fan of him. He brought him to Washington for a reason. He started over Haskins for a reason because he knows the system, and he just seems really confident with him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Alex Smith. Alex Smith, I think, is second on the depth chart, and then Haskins now. So it's
Haskins is all but done. They were talking about why they didn't trade him.
Why they should trade him? Got 3 quarterbacks. I mean,
yeah. I mean, but they probably couldn't get anything for him either.
No.
Nope.
So
no. All right, so let's roll over to the game of the week.
They're still not going to flex this one out, right?
Yeah, I don't think you could.
I wish they would, so Monday. I wouldn't have to stay up to watch this. To be quite honest,
like, do you really have to stay up to watch this?
I mean, I'm going to.
We should live stream it and just yell at each other the whole time for winning.
Drop the ball, drop it.
Right. It's going to be bad. So right now, and this
0-0 tie into overtime.
This goes to the point of how bad the Jets are. John, I know how down you are. How down you are on the Patriots this year. They are 7.5-point favorites right now. That's the consensus pick is New England and 7.5. The spread is 7. It's bad. It is
points.
It's bad. 7. They're projected to win by a touchdown, and the Patriots look absolutely inept on offense the last couple weeks. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Cam looked better, right? We were talking about that a little bit. Cam looked a little bit better. He was running a little bit. They held pretty tight with Buffalo. If he could have held on to the ball, I mean, they were walking down the field. They could have either tied that game up because it was already pretty close to the red zone, right? When he fumbled,
it was around the 25 or 20, I think. Yeah.
Yep. So they were already there to tie up the game, if not take the lead. So that game was close. They looked a little bit better, and we talked about that the last couple of weeks. Was Cam using his legs some more, and I think he's going to do that a lot this week. And a big part of that is. And I don't know, obviously it's a Monday night game, so we've got a little bit longer to wait, but Quentin Williams was hurt. He's questionable. He's kind of been the center point, and he's been very good on the defensive line. Like, there's not a lot of positives on the Jets side of the ball, but Quentin Williams has been playing outstanding on the defensive line. If we lose him, it's going to be really, really rough. It's going to be hard to get pressure on Cam because nobody else is. But then you've got Damian Harris, who's questionable. I'm not sure exactly if he's going to go. But I think, John, you know as well as I do that James White just loves playing in the Jets. So he's probably going to have a very nice game this week. I don't know. Obviously, he doesn't have the chemistry he had with Brady with Cam because that was just a 1-2 punch that was almost unstoppable. You're not seeing it quite to that level here, but I think especially if Harris is nicked up, it's going to be a big running game for them. Cam's going to run a lot, and I think you're going to see James White come back to life. And this will probably be the week. I say it every week, but this will be the week N'Keal Harry goes off. This is what's going to happen.
That's if N'Keal Harry plays because he's
he did get hurt.
Protocol right now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't even know what wide receivers that you guys have, but
I can tell you, Damari Bird, Jacoby Myers, 2 undrafted players. But don't forget, we traded huge trade for Isaiah Ford.
Oh, Isaiah Ford.
Isaiah Ford. Isaiah Ford. That was our trade. That was the wide receiver that was going to push us over the edge right there.
John, to be fair,
Christ,
the last time you traded for a wide receiver with the Dolphins, you got Wes Welker. So don't hate on him yet.
Joe.
Don't hate.
Joe, I don't know if you're trying to make me feel better about my life or not.
I don't know who this guy is. I knew who Wes Welker was only because I picked him up the end of the year in fantasy and he was going crazy. And then it really pissed me off. But I don't know. It's gonna be rough. N'Keal Harry remains sidelined at practice Thursday with concussion.
Isaiah Ford's not even playing Monday night. So
there you go. An alert came up on my phone. It said Pat signed high flying wide receiver. And I thought, oh, who's this? And then I read it and I still didn't know who it was.
high flying wide receiver. I was like,
what? Who'd they get? Oh,
he had like 10 catches in Miami. They give up a 6th, 7th round pick. It's
Well, and the other side of this is Sam, like I said in the recap show, for some reason did some stupid head first dive, got hit in the shoulder again. Why? I have no idea. It was like 45-3, and he's doing head first dives trying to get first downs. Like,
because he wants to get hurt, so he doesn't have to play.
Yeah, I appreciate the effort, but come on, man. Just what's 1 yard? Just slide. So now he's dealing with this shoulder thing. He's saying it's just soreness, but he said that after the last game that he missed 2 weeks. So they've got a bye next week. I would not be surprised at all if you sat him for 2 weeks before when he finished that game with the shoulder injury. Why are you putting him out here now with the bye coming up next week? You might as well, if he's dealing with that, just put Flacco in.
Yep.
And let him rest up, 2 weeks, then he comes back and hopefully he's back to normal again. But it doesn't make sense, not in this game. Why try and hurt the kid? I get it. He's a competitor and you want to win. And I know Adam Gase still wants to win games because,
is he still the
coach? He's on the sideline. He's on the sidelines, but
wow, what is this? Week 8, week 9? He's still the
coach.
How is
he still there? How is he still there?
I've explained it. I've explained it. It's the Dolphins all over again. Just trade away everybody and just lock up that first pick. It does you no good it does no good to get rid of him. And here's the thing is Daryl Loggins, whatever the hell the offensive coordinator is, that he has made the team look like it had some life in the first half of both games. I mean, the defense couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes, but very few teams can. So they went down, scored touchdowns like it was nothing, but the offense was moving the ball, just kicking field goals because we can't score touchdowns. And then the second half again just came out absolutely lifeless. And I brought it up in the other show. They had 9 yards of offense in the game. Like it was 26 total yards in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter they had 9 yards rushing, no passing yards, 26 yards total offense in the second half. But the passing yards came in the third quarter. No passing yards in the fourth quarter, 9 yards rushing, and 5 of them was on a Sam Darnold scramble, which means he was under pressure. So realistically, 6 yards of actual play calling offense that came out in the entire fourth quarter. The game was over. Like, that's the easy garbage time where you should be able to just go down the field, score 14 points because, it's so far out of hand. It just makes it. I mean, it's 35-9 in the fourth quarter. That team was done playing. I mean, so what gives me any hope? And then you go back to the week before with the four yards of offense in the second half of the game against Buffalo. How are we going to beat the Patriots? You can't. You just can't. It's just it's so bad. The offense is just completely inept right now.
Yeah, but Joe, now you're talking about a Patriots offense who, you're right. James White is a great player. They're not playing him. They're just not playing him enough. You get N'Keal Harry probably out this week. I mean, the insanely talented Isaiah Ford, who we gave up a 6 or 7 round pick, isn't playing. You got Julian Edelman out. So now you got Myers, you got Bird. What tight end is going to catch a ball? Maybe Ryan Izzo, but even he's questionable. And you got 3 of the 4 starting offensive linemen questionable for Sunday's game, or I'm sorry, Monday night's game.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I mean, normally I'm pretty confident when we play the Jets or any other AFC East team that we're going to beat them for the last 20 years. I'm not very confident about much anymore, my friend.
What was the last time you felt like that?
Yeah.
Playing the Jets that you thought, I don't know if I'm going to win this week. Wow.
When was the last time me and you had a Jets-Patriots matchup and we both argued against why we're going to lose the game? Like, how many conversations have we had going back and forth about where our team's going to win? And here we are sitting here saying, this is why my team is going to lose. And we're trying to convince each other.
2020, baby.
This is, oh, my God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
You know, like I was saying before we started, this is such a hard football year to watch. And you know what? New England fans have been arrogant for 20 years because we could have been. I mean, I hate to say it. We just could have been.
Well, you don't hate to say it. I would enjoy saying it.
Okay, so I enjoy saying it. But, I mean, I was never like maybe I was a prick sometimes. You know what I mean? Maybe I was kind of having fun giving people shit about how bad their teams are, the Jets. But now it's like at times it's like, oh, football's on? Okay. You know, thank God I have fantasy because the Patriots game I'm about to watch is going to be awful. And you know, last week against Buffalo, I didn't think that game was going to be even that close. Mm-hmm. And again, Jim, kind of like the Giants. Again, we were right there. We were right there against Seattle. You know, God forbid if we could actually hold on to the ball in Kansas City. Denver, we were right there. And now, again, another turnover towards the end of the game. We're finding ways to lose. We just are, like the Giants. We're just finding a way to lose. The Jets, honestly, and I love the Patriots. I'm always going to be a Pats fan. Always, always, always. But I'll tell you what, if there's a year where I want to see my beloved Patriots go 2-14, it's this year. It is this year. This season is so effed up because of COVID, injuries. I mean, our quarterback situation, players sitting out. It's just, I mean, Bill Belichick blaming the salary cap on why we're so bad. He controls the fucking salary cap. Yeah. I don't get it. And where is our money? Where is our money going? I know there's like $19 million in dead cap space going to Brady. Okay, well, there's still another $170 million or whatever it is. Where is this money? I don't understand it. We're paying Gilmore $7 million a year. Where is all this money going? We're paying Tooney friggin' 16 million a year because we franchised him. That's very un-Belichick-like. Very un-Belichick-like.
He's leaving soon.
You know, we were talking about that.
For a rebuild. No way.
I see, but here's my take on that one. And you guys are going to laugh because a few of my other friends laughed that aren't Pats fans. I said, we're not that far away. And they said, bullshit. I said, no, think about it. If next year it comes back, our defense, we're obviously signing Gilmore. We're going to
you sound like us. Now you sound like us. Wow.
Is this what we sound like when is this how ridiculous it sounds?
Just hear me out for a minute. Just hear me out.
We're really close.
So we're obviously going to sign Gilmore if we kept him, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to sign him. Our defense will be better. We do need a pass rusher. Anybody that can rush a passer. So defense-wise, we don't need much besides a pass rusher. We're going to get Hightower back. Now, offense, that's where the kind of liability is. So all we need is any viable –
you can't even say it without laughing.
Any viable tight end that has caught a football in the last 5 years in the NFL. That's all we need. Just anybody. I don't care who it is.
Or running backs.
House is on the market already.
It's only because he wants to buy a bigger one here.
Because he wants to get the hell out of there. Like
no, he doesn't. He wants to play here. We would have traded him if that was the case.
Yeah.
We need to.
You need
a quarterback.
You need.
We don't need running backs. We got plenty of running backs. We got a decent offensive line. My boy Damian from Alabama, man, he's gonna be a beast. I'm telling you.
Lord.
Never mind Sony Michel. Sony Michel will not be in the picture next year. I guarantee you that.
He's done.
He's done.
So let me just so I'm clear. You're really close. All you need is a tight end, but you're not sure if you're going to beat the Jets, who haven't done a thing all season.
This year, Jim, I agree. I'm talking next year.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Next year. We're a tight end, a quarterback, and
three wide receivers.
Any wide receiver that can get away. Shit, sign Golden Tate. Tate.
They kept him out today because his wife has been blowing up social media.
Oh, really?
And actually, even when he caught that ball, I don't know if you saw it, when he caught that ball at the end of the game, he threw it down and he looked at the camera and said, "Get me the ball," because he's really frustrated that he's not more involved. But
he can't stay healthy.
I know.
Yeah.
So back to the Pats real quick. Why is Cam even starting? Why isn't Stidham in there and see what you got? What are they trying to hold on for something this season?
Unless they're trying to see if they're going to re-sign Cam. Honestly, unless Stidham is that far away from being a viable quarterback, that's that has to be it. Or else I think we would have seen Stidham from the beginning. I truly do.
Yeah. But that's how you're going to know if you're going to keep Cam. You got to let the kid play 3 or 4 games.
I don't think Stidham's there. He cannot be there. There's no way he's there.
Right.
No
so
way.
he looked bad enough in the preseason that they went out and signed Cam.
Right.
Yeah. And he's probably shown nothing in practice that's given them any kind of different feeling, any kind of warm fuzzies on that. So I can only imagine that, you've got to see what Cam's got. And maybe, if the Jets win this week, maybe you do. Maybe you just say throw Stidham in there, because at that point, Cam's not your quarterback, right? For the future, if you lose to the Jets. And maybe you sit there and you go, okay, Stidham, go ahead. Like, lose them all or win a couple, do whatever the hell you want. Show us what you got. So that's the only thing that would make any sense in that scenario. But going back to the Jets, you talk about your wide receivers, but Perriman's in concussion protocol. He's not going to play.
Is Crowder playing?
Crowder hasn't practiced. He didn't practice again today. So, he gets the extra day, but good chance he doesn't play either. So you're going back to Mims as your number one, and Braxton Berrios, the same trio as last time. And you saw what that produced against Kansas City's defense that isn't anything special. So I don't think, and then on top of it, you've got the center went down halfway through the game, and I don't think he's going to play McGovern. So you lost him as well. So now the offensive line has gotten worse. Like you said, you don't really have a pass rush, but the Jets look.
Stidham's got a chance then. Stidham's probably going to beat the Jets by himself.
He could.
Except he's not playing. Cam is. I don't get it.
Yeah.
No. But Cam's going to run. Cam's going to run a lot. Cam's going to have a lot of runs.
The Jets, he's benched. If Cam doesn't beat the Jets, he's benched.
I think so.
Here's the thing, though. In
Bobby Hoyer, baby.
I can't. Yeah, somehow he's still on the team.
No,
probably because of COVID.
Way.
Probably because of COVID. But
there is no way that Hoyer could be a quarterback again after that performance.
I can't blame Cam. There's nobody on that offense. I like Cam. I do. He looked great at the beginning of the year against the first couple games. Honestly, here's what I think is going to happen in the Patriots' future. Not to get away from the Pats and Jets. I'm gonna pick the Patriots in our Pick'em League just because the Jets don't have a win. But here's what I predict. So who's playing quarterback tonight for the San Francisco 49ers? Mullins, right?
Mullins.
Okay. Jimmy G's out for 6 weeks? So that's going to put him to week 14? You think he's coming back with 2 games left? Hell no. Not going to happen. Would it surprise anybody to see Jimmy G in a Pats uniform next year? You think San Francisco's going to keep him? I don't think so.
I don't think they can cut him.
Well, they can trade him.
They could.
And who wanted Jimmy G in New England? Bill.
Yeah.
You put Jimmy G back in New England. Not that I want Jimmy G. I don't know if I'd be a fan of this, but the guy knows the system. I don't think we should be paying him $30 million. He would have to come at a discount or something. He would have to, because nothing is backing that money. He's played one season out of 3, really, but he did go to the Super Bowl. So he does know how to win somewhat. But if you look at that defense is the one that carried him. But it would not surprise me if you see a Jimmy G, Bill Belichick reunion next year.
That's not that crazy, as long as San Francisco eats some of that contract in a trade. Well, I could see it, but you kind of
don't know what's guaranteed. I would have to see that. I would have to see, and then Jimmy G would have to negotiate his deal with Bill, and he already knows that. He already knows that.
I don't see that. I mean, the kid can't stay on the field. He can't stay healthy. I mean, I would rather you got 3 quarterbacks coming out, right? I mean, Mac or Fields or Lawrence. Why, if you're going to be down that far where you have a chance to get one of them, maybe you go that way.
I agree if that's where we're at. And quite honestly, if I had a number 1 pick, I think I'm taking Fields.
I mean, Lawrence dropped down. So
I just, the more I see Fields play, that guy is, I mean, he reminds me of Mahomes a little bit. He does. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is good. We've already seen him. Not saying that he's not, but man, Fields, I think, fits that mold right now of your prototypical kind of, and I hate to say it, the RPO quarterback. I hate that friggin' saying too. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, but Chris Collinsworth.
Oh God, it's every single play. Oh, that was an RPO. What isn't an RPO? Right. Tell me what isn't one. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But again, Jim, we're not that far away, brother. We're not that far.
That's away. Right. No, you're close. You're close.
Well, you know what? But you're going to enter, and I think we talked about this earlier. Is you're going to enter that continuous quarterback carousel that most teams are in. Like, you had a great quarterback for 20 years, which is absolutely unheard of. But most teams live in this state of flux at quarterback, and you get one for a couple years, and then most of the time something bad happens. They get hurt, or very rarely do you get a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, a Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers.
For Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they took that kid, right?
But it's the same argument I have with the Jets as you do with Jimmy G. Is everybody keeps a lot of people are like, oh, if I had the number 1 pick, Jets need to trade down and build around Sam. Sam can't stay on the field. He's just like Jimmy G. He's always hurt. He hasn't played.
It's always something.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I don't see them going after him.
If you build around him and he can't stay on the field, then what does it matter? It's the same thing I said with drafting Mekhi Becton. If he has nobody to throw to, it doesn't matter if he's protected. So it's tough, but I say you got to go with Lawrence, and you've got to start all over again. Unfortunately, that's just the only way to do it. What?
No, I have this cookie.
Okay, go.
Cookies.
Got company.
I had this because I ate all my dinner.
All right, thank you.
What she got? Trick or treat Halloween candy?
Oh, my pork chop.
She ate all of her pork chops, so she gets candy.
All right.
So,
nice.
Good job, baby girl. All right. So let's I think that's a good sign to wrap it up. So let's so give me your pick. Who are you taking?
Who, me?
Stop talking.
Yeah. I am going, like I said, I'm just even picking with my heart. I just think it's going to take a lot for the Pats to lose. I just wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I'm going to take New England in my pick'em league. 7 though?
No.
I think if I'm betting points, I'd probably bet the Jets.
Wow. Okay, so you think it's going to be a close victory?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And let me take a look real quick.
I'll go before you. I think I'm going to take the Jets and the points.
Yeah. You're taking. Yeah. Are you taking the Jets?
I think the Jets get their first win because I think Belichick would love nothing more to let the Jets win. Yes, I'm taking the Jets and the points.
I hope you're wrong, but the over-under is 42 in this game. 42.
Under all.
Oh, God. All right.
It's going to be
13-10.
Monday night bum fight.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to take the Patriots. I've watched enough Jets this year to know how bad they really are, and it is bad. So stop.
Yes, we are live,
Anyway.
people. Come on.
Yeah.
Where else can you get this entertainment?
This is
You
this is
never
what we
know
call,
what's going to happen.
This is what we call real life. So thank you for joining us in
Having
real
kids.
Yeah. So Patriots will win this game because the Jets are just terrible. And even if the Jets,
Wow, you're not taking the Jets?
no,
I'm the only one taking the Jets?
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right.
Think about it. In the last 4 quarters,
They're overdue for a win.
in the second half of the last 2 games, they've put up a combined 30 yards of offense. In the last second, like they can't score anything.
Horrible.
So
horrible. I get
so
it.
they should be fine. The 0-9 Jets should be okay. So I think we'll be fine there. But
So, real quick, so as I'm looking online, and I know fans can't go to the game, but they still update ticket prices, right? Do you know how much you can get a New England Patriots Monday night ticket for right now?
$57.
Wow.
57.
Yeah.
That's 4 beers. That was 4 beers for me.
Hey, on the flip side,
Gillette.
the Dolphins game, the Dolphins Cardinals game, tickets as low as $208.
Wow.
Tua.
Just to put it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, feel really good if you're a Jets fan. Texans Jaguars tickets $. So as it can
Yeah, but that's for
worse.
people that can go too. That's last year's prices as well.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So let's wrap it up with that before I lose complete control of this situation. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel and like it and enjoy the chaos that is the Bean Apple. So until next week, for John, for Jim, for Tristan, Sabrina, see you guys later.